Dust storms swept through the old frontier town of Red Hollow, painting the wooden buildings in a permanent shade of tired brown. The sun hovered low, sinking behind mesas like a great golden coin slipping through a crack. Folks had gathered in the square, some out of boredom, others out of cruelty, and a few because they had nowhere else to be. At the center of it all stood a raised platform. On it, wrists bound loosely, not painfully, but symbolically, was a girl no older than 17. Her name was Elara Finch. Elara didn't belong to Red Hollow. She'd arrived 2 nights earlier on a wagon transporting people who owed debts, people the town called pledgers. Her family farm had gone under after a drought, and the company her parents borrowed from seized their land, and Elara. She was to be sponsored, a polite word that tried to hide what was really happening. The crowd jeered. Look at her dress, city-made. She won't last a week on any ranch. Bet she can't even saddle a horse. Elara kept her chin high. She wasn't tough, not really, but she had resolve woven into her bones. Her mother had whispered before Elara was taken away, "Whatever happens, stay yourself. They can't take that." The platform supervisor, Mr. Cutter, paced like he enjoyed the attention. "Ladies and gentlemen," he called, "our next pledger is skilled in reading, writing, bookkeeping, and cooking. Young, healthy, polite, Elara Finch. Who'll start the bidding?" Laughter rippled across the crowd. No one raised a hand. No one even tried to look interested. Cutter scowled. "Come now. Someone needs her work. Sponsorship only lasts 1 year." Still nothing. Then, a voice from the back. Rough, quiet, but cutting through the noise like a wind through dry grass. "I'll sponsor her." Everyone turned. Standing in the dusty road was Jonah Hale, a rancher known more for his silence than his temper. He was tall, sun-worn, with gloves tucked into his belt and boots that had crossed more land than most men dreamed of. Jonah owned the Hale Ranch far outside town, where he lived with his 8-year-old son. Most people forgot Jonah existed until he spoke. Cutter raised a brow. "You, Hale, you barely come into town. She'll have room, food, fair work," Jonah said. His voice didn't rise, didn't strain. It simply was, steady as the earth. A few men snickered. "Jonah claims he needs help. That ranch is falling apart." "Nah. He's lonely. That's what this is." Jonah didn't react. He stepped forward and handed Cutter the sponsorship fee. Cutter accepted it with a shrug. Money was money. Elara was released from the platform. The rope fell away, soft as a sigh. No one clapped. No one cared. But Jonah looked at her. Really looked, and his eyes softened a little. "Come on," he said. "Long ride home. The Hale Ranch." The journey to the ranch was quiet. Elara rode in Jonah's wagon, hands resting on her knees, watching the landscape blur into purples and oranges. She didn't know what kind of man Jonah truly was, but she sensed kindness in the way he didn't stare, didn't ask intrusive questions, didn't treat her like she was a burden. When they arrived, the ranch appeared unexpectedly warm. The farmhouse was small but tidy. Lanterns glowed softly from the porch. A boy ran out, feet thumping on the wooden steps. "Ha, you're back." Jonah lifted him in a quick, strong hug. "Took longer than I wanted." The boy noticed Elara. His eyes were big, brown, and curious. "This is Eli," Jonah said. "My son." Eli offered a shy wave. "Hi." Elara smiled, feeling something in her tighten and then loosen. "Hello." Jonah cleared his throat. "I brought her here because we need help. But also, Eli needs someone around during the day. Someone who can talk to him. Teach him things. The ranch work. I'll handle most of it." Elara blinked. "You want me to help with your son?" "If you're willing," Jonah said. "You'll be treated fairly. No harm will ever come to you under my roof." There was no hesitation in his tone. No hidden threat. Just a quiet promise. Elara felt the air return to her lungs. She nodded. "Yes, I'd like that." Eli grinned so widely it made her laugh. Life on the ranch. Within weeks, Elara felt more at home at the Hale Ranch than she had expected possible. She woke early to help with breakfast, but Jonah never demanded more than she could manage. She taught Eli to read better, to write neatly, to draw pictures of the hawks circling the ranch fields. She swept porches, tended the small garden, and slowly learned how to mend fences and feed the animals. And Jonah, he surprised her. He was patient, gentle. He apologized if he ever startled her. He explained things carefully, never assuming she understood ranch work just because she was there. He showed her how to calm a spooked horse, how to spot a storm coming by the way the clouds stacked like dark pillows. Sometimes, around the dinner table, all three of them laughed. Real laughter, the kind that made Eli snort milk through his nose once, sending Elara into hiccups. For the first time in months, she felt safe. For the first time in longer, she felt wanted. Trouble returns. But good things rarely stay untouched. One hot afternoon, a rumbling of wagon wheels echoed through the valley. Jonah stepped onto the porch, jaw tightening. Elara recognized the wagon instantly, the company men who had brought her to Red Hollow. "Mr. Cutter climbed down. We're checking on pledgers," he said flatly. "Company policy." Jonah crossed his arms. "She's fine." Cutter smirked. "We'll see." He marched toward Elara. "How's the rancher treating you? You eating enough? Working too much?" Elara felt Eli grip her sleeve. She gently squeezed his hand. "I'm being treated well," she said. "Better than anyone in your town treated me." Cutter's smile vanished. "Watch your tone, girl." Jonah stepped forward, shadows deepening around his boots. "She's under my care. Her year isn't done. You have no right to threaten her." For a moment, Cutter looked ready to spit back something cruel. But he glanced at Jonah, at the size of him, at the steady determination in his stance, and backed down. "We'll be back," Cutter muttered. "Not for her," Jonah replied. "Not if she doesn't want to leave." Cutter climbed onto his wagon and rode off without another word. Elara watched until the dust settled. She realized her hands were trembling slightly. Jonah noticed. "You're safe here," he said quietly. And for the first time, she truly believed it. A home found. By the end of her sponsorship year, Jonah handed her a choice. "You can leave," he said. "Head anywhere you want. I'll pay your fare." Eli clutched her sleeve again, eyes terrified of goodbye. Elara knelt beside him. "Do you want me to stay?" she asked gently. He nodded, almost too fast. She looked at Jonah. He wasn't smiling, but something in his expression hoped. "I'd like to stay," Elara said softly. "If you want me to." Jonah let out a breath he didn't seem to know he'd been holding. "We do," he said. Eli threw his arms around her. Jonah turned away, pretending he needed to check something on the porch, but Elara saw the quiet relief in his shoulders. And just like that, she realized. She hadn't been purchased. She hadn't been rescued. She'd been chosen. And she'd chosen them back.